Greetings from Human Biological Institute. Welcome to yet another engaging session of our scientific forum, Immunize Talks. At Human Biological Institute, we take immense pride in driving several public health awareness initiatives through our one of its kind platform. Immunize with Pride is an awareness initiative dedicated to educating the public about vaccine preventable diseases and the importance of timely vaccination. This session features leading experts from across the country who share their valuable insight on key health topics aim to raise awareness and promote overall well-being. Today, we are delighted to have Dr. Anurag Mohta with us to share his expert perspective on bridging the immunity gap and importance of catch-up vaccines. I shall be sharing more about our today's speaker in a short while. For the moment, please allow me to share a brief introduction of a Human Biological Institute. Human Biological Institute is a division of Indian Immunologicals Limited. IIL was established in 1982 by the National Dairy Development Board as one of its units and was later incorporated as company in 1999. It was founded in 1998 when the government of India requested IIL to produce a modern tissue culture anti-rabies vaccine to phase out the unsafe tissue vaccine. Our first manufacturing facility was set up in the Ooty. This facility is one of its kind in India and rolled out the country's first varicella culture rabies vaccine in the year 2000. Today, we are a leader in the ARV segment with presence in around 60 countries. HBI has launched several other vaccines and became a major player in the human vaccine segment. HBI has been a key supplier of the pentavalent vaccine to the Government of India under its Universal Immunization Program. In yet another milestone, HBI introduced Havisure in 2024, India's first indigenous hepatitis A vaccine, aimed at providing protection for both children and adults. With the vision of shaping global healthcare by spearheading the One Health initiative to innovate, produce, and market quality healthcare products and services to improve and extend lives. We are committed to providing affordable, high quality products through continuous technical innovations to meet our customers' need. As a market leader, we have taken a significant step towards reducing plastic burden per annum through the introduction of eco-friendly packaging of our flagship brand Abera. As a part of our corporate social responsibility initiatives, we have adopted schools where IIL provide infrastructure facilities, including assistance with the midday meal program in association with NDDB. Through the gift milk program, hundreds of school-going children benefit from dairy milk nutrition. We have also donated an oxygen generating plant to Telangana Institute of Medical Science and Research. About IIL. For more information, please visit our website at www.indiaimmune.com. Immunize with Pride is one of our unique initiative which emphasizes that vaccination not only protects individual but also strengthen community immunity. Welcome to today's talk. This session is dedicated to the highly significant topic bridging the immunity gap, importance of catch-up vaccines. Before that, I would like to show you a small video. Before starting the session, I would like to introduce our speaker today, Dr. Anurag Mohta, who is an MBBS DNB and consultant pediatrician and neonatologist, who is currently associated with Vishesh Jupiter Hospital, Indore, which is in Madhya Pradesh, India.
Hi.
Good morning, sir.
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good morning.
Sir, so the topic, as it says, immunity gap. So, what do we mean by the immunity gap?
So basically, the immunity gap, a lot of kids are left behind, when they grow into their adulthood, and they don't get the chance, probably due to some financial constraints or some calamities like that we have seen now COVID, that for the entire year the vaccination program was actually arrested. And for that we need to bridge that gap. And a lot of, because now we are moving to become low income country to middle income to good income country. Then in that scenario, a lot of kids who were not vaccinated due to the financial concern now can be vaccinated and can get the benefit of vaccines. In the COVID, after COVID, the awareness of vaccine has become, a great, and emphasis of the importance of immunization has been given by the government of India as well, and by WHO, just to make sure that we should not see diseases which are vaccine preventable. There are a lot of diseases which are very, the efficacy of vaccines are pretty good. In that scenario, the vaccine should be offered to the person. Right now in today's scenario also, we are seeing a lot of deaths which can be prevented with these vaccine preventable diseases, vaccines. So I think we should vaccinate those kids or those individuals who are not yet vaccinated in due course of time, and we should offer them, because at this age group, probably around in 20s or 30s, they are not even aware that whether this sort of vaccines are going to help them or not, or they have been vaccinated in their childhood or in their infancy period, whether the vaccination has been given or not. A lot of kids are moving here and there. There's a migration population in India from one state to another. There's a loss of cards as well. If we ask them whether you are vaccinated, they say that we don't know the status, and their parents also don't know their status. So in that scenario, yes, the vaccine, we need to breach that immune gap which has been created, and we should vaccinate. And the catch-up programmation, the main goal of catch-up programmation is that no one should left behind, as far as the immunization is concerned.
So as it is so much of a major concern, so why this immunity gap has been increased in this recent years?
So, like I emphasize, because we have seen in COVID time that kids, parents were afraid of going to the hospitals due to the spread of different viruses, and a
Yes.
lot of new diseases are coming. For this, vaccines are readily available, which were not available in there probably in the 2000s. In my when I was a kid, some vaccines were not available, or were not readily accessible to us. And now, since we have the access to that, because a lot of companies are coming up, the transportation is getting better, the cold chain is getting better. In that scenario, yes, it is getting better. So that in that scenario, we need to teach the individuals that yes, vaccination should be done. And that's what the reason that why the gap is now immense, because new vaccines are available. Previously people were not aware of vaccines, and that has created a big gap.
Yes, definitely. As you're mentioning in recent years, and we are getting this affordability of the vaccine as well, and the availability is also there now.
Yes, true, true, true. Previously, it used to cost a lot, and cold chain was a big problem because the roads were not there, electricity supply was not there. So right now, as our country is moving forward to becoming a developed nation, then these facilities are getting better. Then this is a chance that we should educate our masses to get vaccinations against the diseases which can be prevented.
So coming to the vaccines, like what are the catch-up vaccines are there?
So previously, in 2000s, the vaccination coverage of India, and as far as the government of India vaccination program is concerned, the UIP program is concerned, it was around 60 to 70%. Now we are heading towards some 80 to 90% kids are getting vaccinated. Still 10 to 15% kids are not vaccinated, though the program existed in the village as well now. And previously, since the rate was abysmal, there were a lot of misunderstanding between the parents, and a lot of vaccines, like I told, that was not available. Some vaccines were available, but affordability was not there. Now the affordability is there. So there are few vaccines, like we can say hepatitis A vaccine. What the hepatitis A vaccine previously, in my childhood, I have never had this vaccine, probably due to the unawareness of my parents, because we were living in town, and there nobody knew about hepatitis A vaccine, which was available there in that time as well. But and I'm sure that like me, a lot of kids are in the a lot of adults are there in the country who are not aware of such vaccines which are available now and which can offer good protection. In the last year, in our ICUs, we have seen 4 or 5 deaths of hepatitis A, which is readily preventable by vaccines. So this can be we can prevent those unnecessary deaths, which can be prevented with vaccines.
Yes, sir, definitely. As you mentioned, it's available also, and awareness is just the issue.
Yes, like the chickenpox vaccine is also now available, readily available. Previously, the supply of vaccines was not there. So in that scenario, the lot of kids were not vaccinated, and there was a dharna something कि चलो chickenpox तो सबको ही होता है. But the problem is कि those who is not getting chickenpox in the early age of their life, in adulthood, they face a lot of problems. I mean, that that disease is going to change their life, as far as the if I will just give you example. This vaccines that are available in the market, this
Yes.
just costs you around nowadays, I mean, 2000, 3000 bucks. But the problem is, once you are admitted with that illness, it costs you in lakhs. I mean, everyone is seeing that healthcare cost is just getting increasing, and which can be prevented with such vaccines. So I think everyone should be offered that vaccine.
Yes, sir. So as you're mentioning, which population, like childhood or the adolescents, who needs this catch-up vaccination the most?
So the most important population which should be catched up in this is in their 10 to 20s or 10 to 25s of this age group. That we should target, and because in the early period of time, everyone is aware of the vaccine. After 5 years, people just say, "Oh, vaccination, yeah, it must have been done in their childhood," and nobody see their vaccine card as well. That which kind of vaccines they have been offered, which kind of vaccines were available at the time, and whether they have been vaccinated with that or not. That's why we should target the population who are in their I mean, from 10 to 25 years of life. We should educate them, we should target them, and we should catch up their vaccination program with them.
Sir, so as it is getting factors which contribute to cause these children or adults to miss their scheduled vaccines. What are the major
So
reasons?
major reason number the one major reason is that unawareness of the vaccine. I mean, because everyone knows what are the vaccines which have been given in the government setup. So the card has been given by Anganwadi, and now we have robust mechanism to give vaccines. For all the vaccines which are included in the UIPs. But apart from
Yes.
UIP, I mean, Union Immunization Program, there are also some vaccines like chickenpox, like hepatitis A, like now Japanese encephalitis is now coming in the picture as well. And then this typhoid conjugate vaccines are available, like in flu vaccines are available nowadays. Flu, I mean, is in the infection rate of flu is increasing in India as well. Previously it was not there, but due to the globalization, now we are living in a village. It is what I mean, India is also a village and part of that global world. So a lot of transportation is going on, so that also require vaccination for those diseases. The main reason is definitely unawareness. Second thing is affordability. Third thing is migration of population. I mean, now we see some people coming from Bihar to UP, some people coming from UP to Madhya Pradesh, and Madhya Pradesh to Telangana, or Telangana to so in that scenario, the parents are busy. They, I mean, they forget there, because they consider immunization is like, because the child is perfectly all right, so they see,
Yes.
okay, child is fine, so we can delay. Okay, we will get it done in this summer, or we'll get it done in the next summer, or something like that. That is a very common notion that goes, and the people are migratory. In that scenario, this immunization gap been created due to all these reasons.
Yes, sir, definitely. So age group also matters, like which shows currently the largest immunity gaps, like the age, for which
Yes, yes,
age
yes.
group.
We are seeing. I mean, the age group nowadays we are seeing is from 15 to 25. The lot of infants. I mean, a lot of this adolescent age group. When we ask them what are the vaccines that you have been given, then they say that we don't have data. And then we call them that give your data. Then they just show the random page, which is some delineated, and the page is not good. And then if the vaccines are there as well, then those vaccines which are now available in the market, readily available, they are not being vaccinated. So, and at the same time, this adolescent age group, they have very robust immunity, so the chances
Yes.
of them getting I mean, like we say that in chickenpox, if you are less than 12, the chances of getting it, I mean, the virulence power and or the illness that you get from chickenpox is less if you get it early. But if you get it in 80s, 18s, 19s, or 20s, or in a 10s, or 21, 22, the immunity is so robust, then you got a lot of complications with it. So that's why we should target this age group where the immunity is very robust. In that scenario, this especially the viruses which causes diseases, the your immunity becomes your killer. So in that age group we should target this catch-up program.
So apart from this, which type of the disease we can say are affected, like most affected people with the diseases by missed vaccination? Like which kind
So
of disease?
the number one that we find in our clinical practices is hepatitis A. Matlab, there is no match to it. A lot of kids, and especially in urban areas, the awareness is there that people know
Yes,
that hepatitis A vaccine existed because there are a lot of doctors in urban areas which who educate them about the vaccines. But in rural areas, if you go, the rate of this hepatitis A vaccine or varicella vaccine and typhoid conjugate vaccine, the rate has probably been around 1 or 2% only. I mean, I don't see more than that. If you go a little interior in the rural areas, you don't see. They are being immunized with government vaccinations due to the
yes, sir.
mechanism of Anganwadi which is there. But as far as the vaccines like hepatitis A, influenza, then there's chicken pox and typhoid. These are the enteric fever. These are the vaccines which are not been given to them, especially in no, it's not just that they are not affordable. A lot of
Yes,
family that we see in rural areas, they are, I mean, filthy rich, but then they are not aware of the vaccine. The problem is that they are not been offered that this vaccine can be given, and they are not aware of that. That's why they are not getting it. And once they get the disease, it becomes just
yes.
like, okay, we should have I mean, given this vaccines, and then the person would have been immunized with these vaccines.
So the next question which arises after this is like, what is the difference between the booster dose and the catch-up dose? Like,
So catch-up dose is basically we have missed our train, and then after that we are boarding it. So this is the catch-up one. And the booster dose is basically within the range only that we are just the immunity is waning down. The primary immunization has been done. I mean, the series of
yes,
the
sir.
vaccine has been already been done, and now we are just boosting up. And this boosting has particular period as well. That it should be done in this particular group. Like for the DPT containing vaccines, we say that the booster should be given in between 4 to 6 years. So and for second booster, and first booster is usually been given at 16 to 18 months. So this is a
Yes,
booster. But if you are at in your I mean, in your teens, or you're like in 7 or 8 years and you have not been vaccinated, in that scenario, what you have not been vaccinated ever in your life, then in that
yes.
scenario, this is a catch-up program that we advise them, and we tell them to vaccinate as soon as possible.
So like we understand the importance of timely vaccination, but how can this like catch-up vaccinations can also be an effective part?
So, see, timely vaccination is very important. See, we should have, I mean, whenever we are seeing a kid, or we are seeing any child in our OPD practices, we should always ask them what kind of vaccinations that has been given to you. I mean, whether the child is
Yes,
coming for a silly illness as well. I mean, just for cold and cough or just lose motion. But, we should always ask them what are the vaccinations that you have got. And you should encourage your patient to bring vaccination card along with you, so that you can tell them that these are the vaccine that has been missed, so that can be offered. But after that, if the immunization has not been done, then this catch-up vaccination should be given. Should be, I mean, the importance of that. If it has not been given, it should not be like that, okay, we will give probably in summers or something like that. You should offer them right over. I mean, the common illnesses, if it's there, then also vaccination can be done, and then in that scenario, vaccination can be done at that particular moment.
yes, sir. Definitely. So effective catch-up is also an effective mode of vaccinations are already all preferred.
Yes, yes, yes.
So
So
what
timely
steps?
vaccination, there is no alternative to timely vaccination, because if you are missing in that period, you are
Yes,
unprotected. In that
yes, sir.
scenario, if you get that illness, then you don't get time. You cannot say, I would have done my vaccination at that particular time, then I would have been
Yes,
saved. But this cannot be say after that. So, but the thing is, if you are getting, I mean, you're not vaccinated, what is the right time? Today is the right time.
yes, sir. Definitely. So what steps can a health system take to close this
So
immunity
the
gap?
most important thing, I think, the surveillance of schools, because the most of our adolescents are in schools only,
Yes,
where we can catch them up. Okay, some community programs also, we can conduct programs in villages, because like I told you that this catch-up vaccination problem is in mostly in the rural areas. In urban areas, people are aware of it. I mean, some parents are ignorant, but most of them, they do well. But in rural areas, they don't know about it. I mean, we have to create awareness amongst them, and we have to organize camps there. We have to go to the schools and tell them, the teachers now should be the one who see card at the beginning of their session. Whenever the child is getting admitted in the school, they should have vaccination card along with them, so the teacher can see, and they can say that yes, this is the vaccination which has been missed now, and that should be offered, and they should send to the primary healthcare. So the targeted population is basically adolescent, but the best where area where we can focus is on schools.
So I think so. An added advantage will be the parents and individuals as well. Like they ensure that their children are up to date with the
True.
vaccination coverages, and this can be an added advantage.
Yes, yes. We have a lot of community functions. I mean, in rural areas also, they have closed communities as well, which they organize their gatherings frequently. In
Yes.
that, in those gatherings also, we can teach them that you have to look over your community who are not getting vaccinated, so that we can decrease the burden of diseases.
So as you're mentioning, like many people come to you without any records, whether they are, had this vaccination before or not. So do you like think that digital records, health records, can help
Yes, yes.
them to help this
to,
vaccination?
I mean, if you see US, if you see UK or the developed world, they all are having digital records. When they come
Yes.
to us, they come with their proper, in website also. I mean, they can log in, and
Yes.
they really they show us that these are the vaccination that has been given. I mean, this is a very, very robust mechanism where we can ensure that these vaccines are given, and no vaccines are going to be left behind, and no kid is going to be left behind, as far as the vaccines are concerned. So we should have digital record. I mean, this is a need of and a lot of private hospitals are doing it, and government is also initiating in this, but a lot of areas are still there where these records are not there.
So now we see, like usually there is a hesitant, like hesitant will be there. Individuals will be not accepting to catch up these vaccines. Have
Hmm.
you encountered with such scenarios as well?
Happens, but we just need to calm them out that the vaccines are for larger good, and the complication, I mean, the side effects with vaccinations are very less now. I mean, nowadays the labs that we are having, I mean, the quality that we are having, the
Yes.
vaccines, I mean, the preparation plants are there. They are making very good vaccines. I mean, the rate of complication has come down significantly low. Okay, the tendon, a little tenderness is there on the side, little redness is there, sometimes a little mild fever is there, which is okay. I mean, which is a very acceptable thing, as far as we see that the larger burden of the disease that we see, these are very
Mm.
low. So we need to calm them out, that we need to tell them it's okay, it is going to be okay only, and this is just a
Yes.
needle. It is just a needle. Nowadays, the needle, I mean, the gauze of that needle is also very, it's 22, 24 that we are using. You don't even realize that you are being vaccinated as well. And a lot of
Yes.
vaccines are like
True.
that. So, I mean, we should tell them that it is not going to get worse, it is going to get better only.
Yes. So that has to be created.
Yes, awareness has to be created. And, my message is to everyone who is out there that get your vaccinated, checked with your doctor. Okay. With your primary health worker who is available nearby. You just get it checked and ask them what are the vaccines they know that can prevent your diseases, which can happen to you. Okay. So the thing is, because this is the only thing that is going to prevent you. Otherwise, once you get the disease, it is healthcare cost is now more enormous in every setup that wherever you go. You must have seen that this the cost of diseases has become, I mean, enormous in all the hospital where you are getting good care. So it is better to prevent them rather than going to hospital and get it treated.
Sir, do you think that long-term impact of closing this immunity gap will be beneficial for us?
Yes, definitely. I mean, if we can prevent those, this is like I told that we have lost 4 or 5. Adolescent because of
Yes.
hepatitis A in Indore. Okay, and we are a tertiary care center, so we get a lot of cases like that, and the cost is enormous. At the same time, the loss is enormous as well. I mean, if
Yes.
loss of a kid of 20 years or 22 years or 25 years, it drags the family. And if we can save those lives, I'm sure that, I mean, this is the best thing that we can do. And at the same time, the lot of admissions also that we see due to all those vaccine preventable diseases, and the cost of vaccines is just like probably 1% or 2% of the cost that the person, I mean, when get admitted, the person pays for that, it is just 1 or 2% only.
So we are like, as we are speaking about hesitant, like they are not coming forward to take this. So are this because of some myth, or for the catch-up vaccinations? Like, what
So
is the
I
cause?
feel that apart from myth, the most important thing that is the awareness. This population is not just aware about the problems, and they are not aware. Like, see, I mean, last week I got one patient of hepatitis A. Then they understand, they know, got to know that yes, vaccination can be done for this disease.
Yes,
In that scenario, they came forward to me. I mean, they came to my OPD. That's a tell us how can we vaccinate, because we know that our vaccination has not been done. And they were from
yes,
good class. I mean, they were
yes,
educated people, but they were not aware of it. So the important thing is unawareness of the individuals. And because nobody is going to tell them now, they are not going to have knowledge, and they are not going to just see on internet that which are the vaccines that can be given. It is the responsibility of the healthcare workers to educate them about what are the vaccines which are there, which can prevent you against diseases. So if they got to know that knowledge, then I'm sure that they will be available, they will themselves come forward for the vaccines.
yes, sir, definitely. So I will be taking few questions that are in the chat box. So one have mentioned that what is the minimum interval recommended between two different catch-up
So okay, different
vaccines?
vaccines have different schedule. Like we say that in case of chickenpox, 2 doses are there. In that
Yes,
scenario, you need to give 1 dose, and the second dose to be given after 3 months. Okay,
yes,
and as far as the hepatitis A kill vaccines are concerned, 2 doses are given 6 months apart. Then the DPT containing vaccines, the interval between the first dose and the last dose is not, I mean, below 8 weeks, but usually first dose, second dose, third dose, the interval is 4 weeks. So first dose, then second dose interval should be 4 weeks, and then second dose and third dose interval should be 4 weeks. Okay, and kill vaccines now, are different. If you are not being vaccinated, two live vaccines should be given 24 weeks apart, but kill vaccines can be given, I mean, it can be catch up in probably 1 week or 2 weeks as well. But kill live vaccines should be given 4 weeks apart.
yes, sir. So one more question is there. How does the protection differ if someone takes a vaccine as a catching vaccinated during the actual recommended age?
So see, vaccination, as if the catch-up vaccination been done as well, then you are going to get good immunity. But the thing
Yes,
is that the time that you have lost, the thing is, if
yes,
you get disease in that particular time, then that would have been disaster for you, right? So the thing is, the catch-up vaccination is not basically the alternative to the timely vaccine. Timely vaccination should be done, but due to some reason, if that has been missed, then catch-up vaccination, I mean, on the program should offers you that you should take the vaccines as early as possible. The thing is that the time that you have lost is like that has been lost now, and if you
yes,
get illness in that particular period of time, then that would have caused trouble. Like, like we see, if you are traveling in some car, we are having some car insurance, and if 2 days period, if the car insurance is not there and accident happen, that that might cost you your fortune. So in that scenario, that is the it is a preventable disease. So the vaccines
yes,
are there for the preventable disease, so we need to prevent them. We don't know that whether we are going to get it or not in those lost period, but it is better to ensure ourselves, or assure ourselves that yes, we have now been vaccinated with this kind of vaccines, and we are not going to get it. So you should get it as early as possible. Timely, there is no alternative to timely vaccination programs.
So one more is there, like globally, if we see largest immunity gaps is in which age group
See,
globally?
yes, sir. The groups are this immunity gap is largely in the 15 to 25s only that we see. I mean, and mostly it is due to the unawareness only. And affordability is the second thing, that because like we are moving in a good income group, so a lot of vaccines which were not offered during those period. Like I told you, my example, I was from a town, and I was not offered those vaccines in my town, because the doctors there were of a view that here a lot of people cannot afford that. Then they were not keeping it, and they were not educating me
Yes.
at that particular time. But now, since we are moving, and we now, the affordability of vaccines has been, good. The vaccines, the cost has came down significantly from what we used to have 10 years back. So yes, now we should vaccinate ourselves with all those vaccine preventable diseases.
Yes, sir. So they have said like thank you for your answer. Also, they have appreciated it. So, what will be your entire take-home message?
So there is no next day, it is just today. We should, you should ask your care provider that this is my vaccination card. And if you're not having vaccination card, then that's fine as well, because if you're not having vaccination card, it shows that you were not been given. And you can ask your mother or father that what are the vaccine, or where you have put. This is very easy, that you can, whether I have been vaccinated in the government setup or in the private setup. Usually in
Yes,
private setup we offer all those vaccinations. In government, we know that the vaccines which are there in the UIP, they are being offered to you, and you have been vaccinated with that. But there are few vaccine preventable diseases which are not being offered there, which we can offer, and you can be vaccinated towards that. And this is going to prevent you. I'm telling you that because since urbanization is increasing, a lot of
yes,
in one building, a lot of people are, living. Previously, what used to have, that there was a separation of people, because they are in rural areas and urban areas. There were not of lot of people, but now the people are just coming in one place, where these
yes.
communicable diseases are increasing. And this is
Mhm.
going to increase only. That you see, our affordability is increasing, but this and previous, the population is increasing in the urban centers, where the concentration of population is increasing, and this is increasing the preventability, this communicability of the diseases. So
Yes,
we
sir.
should prevent ourselves. It is not usually, previously it used to have that these are the optional vaccines, but now this option is not there. I'm telling you that since the now people are living in a very close knit, they are living in a very close groups, and a lot of people are there. Concentration of population is increasing in urban areas. The vaccines which were optional previously, now we say that it is mandatory. Now you should get it done, otherwise you're going to get ill, you are going to get this illness, and this is going to cost you fortune as well, and it is a lot.
Yes, sir, definitely. Awareness is the key, and catching a vaccination is also another alternative. But getting timely vaccination is not an alternative.
Yes, true, true.
So, thank you, sir. Thank you for being the part of our Immunize talks. It was an we hope today's session was very informative and valuable in spreading awareness and bridging the immunity gap, as our topic mentioned, importance of catch-up vaccines. Our
Thank you,
special
thank you.
thanks to Dr. Anurag sir for sharing his time, expertise, and insight with us today. For those
Thank you.
who would like to revisit the program, the social media platforms, please follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Do like, share, and spread the word to as many, including your friends, family, and relatives. Until we meet in our next live talk, stay healthy, stay aware, and please take good care of yourself. Thank you, Doctor, again. Thank you
Thank you.
so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.